Hi everyone, my name is Chris.
My name is Waylon.
And we have been together for 13 years. We've been married for 12 years and we have 6 kids. And today we wanted to tell you guys the lies that we believed when we were single. That if we kept believing it, we would have never found each other.
If we believed those lies, we probably wouldn't have stayed together.
Definitely wouldn't have stayed together. So let's jump right in. And here are the 5 biggest lies you've been told and we were told about being in a long-lasting
and
healthy relationship. Let's get into the video. Lie number 1. Before you even get into the relationship, you're told you have to love sorry, I'm reading on my phone. You're told you have to love yourself first. Why is that a lie?
Love yourself. Well, it's a lie because we're all constantly working on ourselves. So if you have self-love issues, that might be something that you work on with your new partner. You might take forever just to get to the point where you think, okay, well, I'm ready enough to have a partner now. But that might be when you're like 50 years old, 60 years old, or you're on your deathbed and you never got a chance to live or grow with that one person that probably would have helped you love yourself. So
the key is you don't have to love yourself off the bat. You just have to be open to loving yourself, and that's ultimately the point that my husband was just trying to make. Is the openness is the difference. You don't have to be there, you just have to be open to eventually getting there and not think that you have to be perfect right off the bat.
Absolutely. Now, when I first met Chris, that's what drew me to her, because it was like she was open to letting me know her insecurities or things that made her tick, and that made me want to open up about things that I was insecure about or things that I was working on. So that ultimately brought us together more and got us closer.
Okay, lie number 2. You shouldn't get too serious too soon. Why is that a lie?
You don't literally have to get serious. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I wanted to be with somebody who makes me laugh all the time. Like, I laugh at everything. I love laughing. That's my favorite thing. So when I met Chris, it was just like, this is it. Because from the minute I met her, I was laughing. And that's gold for me. You know what I mean? So that made me get serious and be like, this is who I want to be with.
Yeah. So the idea is you got serious about wanting to have fun and fun being a priority.
Right. And
that I think is really interesting, because I think, like you said, sometimes people think, oh, you don't want to get too serious too soon, but sometimes getting serious means getting serious about wanting to be happy and wanting to have a light relationship, and like that's super important. And maybe for you, something that you want to get serious about is that you want someone who isn't toxic to your spirit. Sometimes people love to throw around, oh, that dude is basic or whatever. He basic, or she basic. But the truth is, like in chemistry, the opposite of acidic is basic. And sometimes the most acidic people, you don't vibe with them and you can't figure out why, but that's the point. Maybe you need someone to balance you out, who can give you a base and be more basic, as they say, because it's literally the opposite of what toxicity is. And if you get serious about not wanting toxic people in your life, I know that new Sierra song, for instance, like people keep asking what Sierra prayed for that got her Russell. And I think in the line of her new song, she's like, I prayed and asked God to take all the toxic people out of my life. Get
serious about getting rid of those people that are toxic in your life.
Once you get serious about that, the right people are attracted into your life.
And that's why in vegan life or plant-based eating,
we're a plant-based family. I don't know.
Being alkaline is like a big deal, because the opposite of alkaline is acidic. The more acidic your body is, the more you're apt for disease. You're open to disease, and the more your mind is, and you're just in a bad place. So it's the same thing with relationships. You
chemistry.
It's all chemistry. That's why they say in relationships, chemistry.
Wow, you guys have so much chemistry. And it's because this person is not toxic to me.
Exactly.
Next, you have to let your man lead. That's another. Why is that a lie?
For me, I think that's a lie, because if your man isn't the greatest at, let's say for instance, for me, it's game planning. Like, Chris is like a big time researcher, game planner. Like that's her super strong point. She's the organizational glue for this relationship and for this family. And we got a family of 8, so we're
running a small business.
We need that glue. We need that organization. For me, that's one example of why let your man lead doesn't quite work, because you could be in so much better of a position if you guys divvy up.
Yes.
You know.
That's the key, is it depends on what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't drive, so I'm not the greatest at direction and navigation. I wouldn't dare open my mouth when it comes to how to get from one place to the next. You have to be able to let your respect for each other lead the relationship, not your ego. If you go into a relationship with the belief that the man has to lead, that means he could be leading with his ego instead of being able to step aside and let you take the lead when it's necessary for you to take the lead. There are things you're just going to shine at, and I think the reason our relationship has lasted 13 years is because we've both been willing to step aside and let that person take the lead.
That's where arguments spark, and that's where people start feeling insecure and oh, well, you know,
I'm a man.
I'm a man, and my idea is going to be the best idea, and blah 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 blah, and what I say goes. No, that's where you fail, and then you guys are in a terrible relationship, and goes back to the last point where it's toxic at that point. You know, so definitely play to each other's strengths. And let each other shine, man. It's a team. This is a business.
Think about a basketball team. The forward can't play point guard. Like, let everyone play their position.
Play your position. Know your role.
Sorry, I just burped. Let everyone play their position when that position is necessary. I've done lots of leadership training and stuff throughout the years, and I
didn't do no leadership training. You know, I'm gonna use that to my advantage. You got kids, like they see a strong leader in Chris, and that gets them confident. That gets me confident. You know what I'm saying? And that then we can accomplish our goals together, and we can get things done.
And again, raising sons and daughters with an understanding that it doesn't always have to be that dad is the only one with the ideas, or dad is the only one executing the ideas, that there is balance. I think that is so important. We always say we're raising 4 fathers and 2 mothers, 4 kings and 2 queens. You know, like, that's so important to us, to really look at the way that we treat each other as being a reflection of the way we would want them to treat their spouses in the future. So yeah, that's a lie. And that was a lie. Okay, just 2 more. So you have to accept each other for who they are. Why is that a lie?
Well, it goes back to, I think, the first slide too. It's like, people can change. You know, if you come into a relationship with bad habits, you don't want to keep those bad habits. You guys want to work together to make each other better.
And that person might not be the right person for you if that's even the mindset you're going into it with.
You don't want to be in a relationship with somebody for 20 years who
you want to change everything about them.
Or is terrible to you. Then what's the point?
Right, and you have to accept that that's who they are. What is it that my friend used to say when we first got together?
Wow, you talk to him like you talk to me. Yeah. You got your crew, you got your homies, and you're not going to have somebody in the crew that's just like...
You just have to accept that.
You have to accept that they're a terrible person. Like, what?
Yeah.
No.
Keep that same energy for a relationship. If you know you guys are all, you mesh together, you have good vibes, they raise your vibration, you have good chemistry. It's all the same language. They're all different ways of saying that this is someone who uplifts you, brings your life to a next level. You don't have to put on a baby voice for a dude to like you. You don't have to become a whole other persona. Be who you'd be in a healthy relationship with your girlfriends. That's what guys are looking for, is somebody that's not going to switch their style up depending on they're with a guy versus with a girl. Like, keep the same energy, expect the same level of respect, and you'll get it.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's been the biggest key. You know, when people say, like, it's so easy, oh, marry your best friend, it's not necessarily that easy for people to start thinking about someone from the opposite sex as a friend.
Yeah.
Because people think they have to, like, think they have to, like, put on, like, a whole new,
my friends, and
there's my boys, and then there's my chick, and they're separate. No.
It's gotta be, you gotta be a friend to your spouse or your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be. You have to be, because you guys gotta come from a level of understanding when it comes to certain tough situations or just regular life. Like, if Chris needs advice, she's gonna ask me about
He's
something.
He's the first person, right?
Exactly. And I got to be that friend that's going to look at the situation and say, well, here's what I would do in this situation.
We always say about, like, with the mob, you know, like,
they have a code.
There's a code.
There's a code,
There's
man.
a code, and it's like you would never go and be talking about all the plans that your crew has to somebody in another crew.
We just gotta accept Sammy the Bull.
He's
just a snitch. We just gotta accept it.
Oh no,
that's just not gonna fly.
Okay, and the last one, you have to do things you've never done to spice up the relationship. Why is that a lie?
You know, there's people who dive and climb Mount Everest, but they don't know anything about their significant other. You know what I mean? Or they don't know enough.
You might be spicing up the relationship in a way that the rest of the world can see in a flashy way.
Right.
But you're not going deeper into the relationship.
Are you really doing that for the relationship, or are you just doing that for appearances?
All right, guys, so the light actually went out in the room that we were in, but we just wanted to wrap this up and say thank you so much for watching this video.
And don't forget to comment on the next video you want to see, and what actually stood out to you the most in this video.
And make sure you hit that like button if you liked it, and share it with someone you love. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.
Happy Valentine's Day.